Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff staring at the endless horizon, wondering if your next business move will soar or crash. Most people fear failure, but what if I told you that success isn't about luck, it's about numbers? It's about understanding the simple yet powerful concept called the law of averages. Jim Rohn, one of the greatest business philosophers, often said that success in business follows a predictable pattern. Every no brings you closer to a yes. Every attempt you make, every connection you forge, every risk you take, it all matters because the odds always work in your favor if you keep playing the game. But here's the catch: most people quit too soon. They get discouraged by one failure, one rejection, or one setback. They never realize that business success is not a single leap, it's a series of consistent actions multiplied over time. Today I'll show you how to leverage the law of averages to tip the odds in your favor. Watch till the end, because the 5 lessons I'm about to share could completely transform the way you approach every opportunity. Lesson 1. Take more action. The most profound misunderstanding of success is the belief that it is a destination reached through a single perfectly timed leap. In reality, success is a byproduct of volume. The law of averages is not a magic spell. It is a mathematical certainty that only activates when the sample size is large enough to overcome the noise of random chance. When you hesitate, you aren't just delaying your progress, you are effectively starving the engine of probability. Every moment spent in over-analysis is a moment where your win rate remains at 0 because the denominator of your effort is 0. You cannot calculate a percentage of success if you haven't stepped onto the field of play. Action is the raw material of achievement, and without an abundance of it, you are trying to build a skyscraper with a single brick. Consider the concept of activation energy in chemistry. For a reaction to occur, a specific amount of energy must be applied to the system. In the world of personal and professional growth, that energy is sheer, unadulterated output. High-volume action creates a feedback loop that lowers the barrier to entry for future success. As you increase your frequency of attempts, you begin to develop a feel for the work that no textbook can provide. You move from the conscious incompetence of a beginner to the unconscious competence of a master, but this transition is fueled exclusively by the number of repetitions you log. If you are waiting for the perfect moment to act, you are succumbing to a form of arrogance, the belief that you can bypass the universal requirement of trial and error. The law of averages dictates that within any given set of attempts there will be a predictable distribution of outcomes. However, if your sample size is tiny, say 3 or 4 attempts, the variance is so high that you might hit a string of failures and conclude that the system is broken. This is the gambler's fallacy in reverse. People think they are unlucky when they simply haven't played enough hands. By taking massive action, you smooth out the curve. You move past the outliers of bad luck and enter the realm of statistical predictability. Success becomes less about a lucky break and more about an inevitable conclusion. When you act more, you aren't just working harder, you are making success a mathematical certainty. Lesson 2. Don't fear rejection. Rejection is often perceived as a wall, but in the context of the law of averages, it is actually a directional signpost. The emotional sting of being told no stems from a biological imperative to seek social cohesion. Yet in the modern pursuit of excellence, this instinct is a liability. To master any craft or scale any business, you must decouple your self-worth from the immediate response of your environment. A no is not a verdict on your value as a human being. It is simply a piece of information indicating that the current alignment of timing, need, and offer isn't a match. When you stop fearing the no, you unlock the ability to pursue the yes with a level of ferocity that others find intimidating. Every rejection is a data point that refines your approach. If you treat each no as a lesson rather than a wound, you begin to see patterns in why the rejection occurred. Was it the delivery? Was it the audience? Was it the product itself? Without the rejection, you would have no mirror in which to see your own weaknesses. The most successful individuals in history are not those who were never rejected, but those who were rejected so frequently that they became immune to the discomfort. They realized that the no is the cost of admission to the yes. By increasing your tolerance for rejection, you effectively lower the price of success, making it easier for you to stay in the game long enough to win. Think of rejection as a pruning process. In nature, trees must be pruned to grow stronger and produce more fruit. Similarly, your ideas, strategies, and pitches must be pruned by the harsh reality of the marketplace. Each rejection cuts away what isn't working, forcing you to cultivate a more robust, resilient, and effective version of your mission. If you live in fear of the no, you will inevitably play small, choosing only the paths where success is guaranteed. But the paths with guaranteed success rarely lead to significant rewards. The high-value yes is almost always guarded by a phalanx of no's. Your job is to walk through them with a smile, knowing that each one makes the final victory that much more inevitable. Lesson 3. Consistency beats talent. The world is filled with talented people who never achieved anything of substance. Talent is a head start, but consistency is the race itself. The law of averages favors the persistent because the person who shows up every day provides the law with the constant input it requires to function. Talent often leads to a dangerous reliance on bursts of inspiration. When a talented person doesn't feel like working, they stop, believing their giftedness will make up for the lost time later. However, the consistent individual, even one with average abilities, eventually overtakes the genius through the sheer force of compounding effort. Small daily actions repeated without fail create a momentum that talent alone cannot hope to match. Consistency builds a psychological infrastructure that supports long-term growth. When you show up every day, you are making a contract with yourself. This internal reliability translates into external competence. You begin to automate the difficult parts of your craft, allowing your mind to focus on higher-level strategy. This is why a consistent writer eventually produces a masterpiece, while a talented but sporadic one leaves behind a drawer full of half-finished notes. The law of averages works on a timeline. It requires a sustained presence to filter through the noise. If you are inconsistent, you are effectively restarting the clock every time you take a break, never allowing the averages to work in your favor. Furthermore, consistency creates trust with the world around you. Opportunities do not gravitate toward the erratic brilliance of the mercurial, they flow toward the steady, reliable hand of the consistent. Whether you are in sales, art, or athletics, your win rate is influenced by your availability. If you are only on 50% of the time, you are missing 50% of the opportunities where the law of averages could have handed you a win. Consistency ensures that you are present for the lucky moments that seem to happen randomly but are actually just the result of being in the right place, doing the right thing for a very long time. It is the steady drip that eventually carves the canyon. Lesson 4. Measure your efforts. You cannot manage what you do not measure. Without data, your perception of your own effort is clouded by emotion and cognitive bias. On a bad day, you might feel like you failed 1,000 times when in reality you only made 3 attempts. On a good day, a single win might make you feel invincible, causing you to slack off. Measuring your efforts provides a cold, hard baseline of reality. It turns the nebulous pursuit of success into a series of trackable metrics. By recording your calls, your pitches, your word counts, or your workouts, you are giving yourself the tools to diagnose your performance with surgical precision. Numbers reveal the hidden architecture of your progress. When you track your results over time, you can calculate your conversion rate, the number of attempts required to secure a single win. Once you know your ratio, the fear of failure evaporates. If you know that, on average, it takes 10 no's to get 1 yes, then the no's stop being failures and start being milestones. You can actually celebrate the no because you know you are 10% closer to your goal. Measurement transforms your mindset from one of desperate hope to one of calculated execution. You stop asking, "Will I succeed?" and start asking, "How many attempts do I need to make today to hit my target?" Beyond motivation, measurement allows for optimization. If you see that your numbers are high but your results are low, you know the problem isn't your work ethic, it's your skill. You can then pivot from quantity mode to quality mode, refining your technique until the numbers shift. Conversely, if your skill is high but your volume is low, you know you need to increase your activity. This level of clarity is only possible when you treat your efforts as an experiment and your results as data. In the age of information, the person who tracks their progress is the person who can iterate the fastest. And in the law of averages, the fastest iterator always wins. Lesson 5. Trust the process. Trusting the process is the ultimate act of discipline. It is the ability to maintain your effort even when the results are not yet visible. We live in a world of instant gratification where we expect a like or a dollar the moment we post or produce. But the law of averages operates on its own schedule. There will be periods of dry spells where it feels like you are doing everything right but getting nothing in return. These are the moments where most people quit. However, these are also the moments where the averages are simply loading. Just as a spring must be compressed before it can propel an object forward, your efforts are often being stored as potential energy before they manifest as kinetic results. Success is a lagging indicator of work done in the past. The results you are seeing today are a reflection of the actions you took weeks or months ago. Therefore, if you stop working because you don't see results today, you are sabotaging your future self. Trusting the process means having the faith that the math will eventually settle in your favor. It is an understanding that the universe is not out to get you. It is simply following the laws of probability. If you continue to put in the work, measure your results, and remain consistent, the outcome is not a matter of if but when. This perspective allows you to work with a sense of peace rather than a sense of panic. Finally, trusting the process allows you to detach from the outcome and focus on the inputs. When you are overly focused on the win, you become tight, anxious, and prone to mistakes. When you trust the process, you find joy in the daily grind. You realize that the process is the success. The person you become while making the 1,000 attempts is far more valuable than the prize you receive at the end. The discipline, the resilience, and the clarity you gain through the law of averages stay with you forever. Trust the process not just because it leads to a result, but because it builds a version of you that is capable of sustaining that result once it arrives. The law of averages in business is simple but profound. It doesn't promise instant riches or guaranteed success on the first try, but it guarantees that consistent effort leads to results. If you understand this principle, you stop fearing failure and start seeing every action as a step closer to your goal. Think about it. If every entrepreneur faced 50 no's before landing a big client, the difference between success and failure is persistence. The law of averages doesn't reward perfection, it rewards patience, repetition, and unwavering effort. So the next time you hesitate to make a call, send a proposal, or take a risk, remember this: every attempt is a number in your favor. You are stacking the odds to eventually win. Success is not magic, it's mathematics. It's understanding the law, playing consistently, and never quitting. Embrace this mindset, and business becomes less about luck and more about strategy, effort, and numbers. Start taking action today, keep multiplying your attempts, and watch the law of averages turn your hard work into unstoppable success.